going in the humps. And of course, you don't want people cutting corners, and you want to cut higher because they're carrying a canoe as opposed to somebody's backpack. They used to take gear and customers across and into the Piscataway. And if you think of it, you know, as this aerial photograph is a small view, this is the Cairns River here. And you see, you can guess here there's some higher terrain here. Obviously it's open here. So it changes. If you look at this one, it being 8.5 kilometers, you can assume this. You want it. And the other thing is you don't want it very wide. You only want enough to carry your canoe to walk. And the Labrador T is a special. And what we've done for roughly 2.5 of the trails, we did a whole bunch of cutting with the extension pruning saw when the trees are, and again you can see how high the branches are cut for easy going through carrying the canoe. And we finished the Cairns River one. As you can see, Harcourt, there's 116 over to Chipman, and this down to Moncton, obviously. Of course, back to the Merrimack. And on the Cairns River, there's 3 bridges here, crossing 3 different brooks. As you can see here, this is the Cole Brook, the West Branch, the 6 Mile and 6 Mile Brook. So the first two of the bridges, of course, permit started. This is what it was with vegetation. This is when we went back, cleaned it out. And this is the same spot again with the bridge in. Trail, and there's the location of the bridge. So, in this case, we spent a great deal of time preparing the materials prior hand. In that one section on the north end to Gordon Meadow Brook off that Portage trail, there's 154 sections that went in there. Here for Trail Worker Award, as you can guess by a great deal of his work. Those pieces, incidentally, that were put together by Bobby at his place, 179 of these, and that was open water, which surprised me. I didn't expect that when I was up there. This past, actually this is just a month and a half ago, some of that cedar we got from Manitonagia, we've taken it in. There's McKay Brook here. See, as you can see, this is the Piscataway. There's the Restigouche up here, and there's the Upsquitch join it, and there's the gorge that you saw pictures of earlier. And we're not all that far away from there when you look at it. If you look at Bathurst in particular, and the other trails here and here, they're within an hour. Bathurst within an hour's drive of the 4 of them. Environmental Trust Fund, we've partnered with the Miramichi Naturalist Club. If the money's come through, we won't know until the latter part of April, eh, Gary? Yeah. If we look at the map in New Brunswick and we look at just the first 3, just these 3 trails, those alone, you can actually do a circle of the interior of New Brunswick. So what we were thinking, this is the Piscataway, this is the northwest here, and what connects them on the north side is Gordon Meadow Brook, and on the south side is McKay Brook and Portage River. If we look at that, it runs almost north-south. And if you look at Papineau and you look at Metaponagia, of the 2 First Nations where they existed for up to 3,000 years, that Portage Trail was with a bridge between them that allowed people to travel there. Pretty neat, eh? Oh Lord. We're back into the alders again shortly below. And it obviously coming across reasonably dry ground. As you can guess, there's the wet area. Oops, sorry. And there's a before shot, and after a lot of the work this past year, now you can walk right across that on that board or that corduroy right out to the brook now. They gave you deadwaters. Same thing applies today. Going up.
There's a mountain bike.
There's a mountain bike in the canoe. And you can see here going up over another beaver dam. This particular day we went over 7 beaver dams ascending to get up to the Portage Trail. This noggin that you see, look at the one up in Mount Carleton. It's a lake on each side. Very different experience than either ascending or descending those 2 brooks. First Nations in the canoe. This one I think you may have seen before. This was just, we've got a whole series of people we're partnering with, and including NBCC channel and stuff in it. And Gallant. And if you want to go in the wintertime, feel free. This is, in fact, this is the going into McCabe Rock in here. With this addition, by the end of this year, then we will now have water trails in the Brunswick.